Hello there, my name's John McLaughlin. Welcome to another Crossfire Gold trading strategy on the 5 and the 15-minute time frame. Now, if this is the first time you visited the channel and you want a really reliable and simple gold trading strategy, then have a look at this video and also the playlist. The link is in the description below. So once again, thank you to all the subscribers, people who have come on board previously. I really appreciate your input. And it just lets me know that people are out there looking for this information, and I can continue putting these sort of videos together and keep uploading them to my YouTube channel. Again, if you've got any questions, anything that you want to know, just put them in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So once again, this is the Crossfire strategy, trade in the 5-minute time frame. Let's get started. Right. I don't know if you've seen my charts before, but I generally put the 15-minute on one side and the 5-minute on the other, so I'm not flipping between screens, between tabs. So
I keep trying to do that. I set it up, and you know what? I can't work with it. I finish up opening it up as one big screen again, and just I've given up doing it.
Yeah. That's what I always say is work with what you've got. And for me, I just thought this was a bit easier. But if you get whatever you get used to, it's perfectly fine. So I'll put the box on the 1300, 13 till 15. And get the red extension lines. And for now, what I'll do is put the trend lines on. Again, regular as clockwork. If you watch the Crossfire sessions, putting the 2 trend lines on. And I change this one to red. So 13.15, put these trend lines on, and as you probably know, what we're looking for is the higher high next to this candle at 13.15. So currently the higher high is this wick here. Okay, so we've put the green trend line on there and the lower low from this one at 13.15. So wherever that is currently, it's wicking, just looks like it's down to there. So this wick here will be the lower low for the red trend line. And then we just put it on the bottom of the wick and the top of the wick at 13.15. So pretty straightforward. One of the interesting things about gold at the minute, it's taken a big dive since last week. Let me just move this over. So I'll put all the indicators on the 15-minute and then take the trade ideas from the 5. But yeah, last week we were up around 1800. The market, there we go. So this beige line here was the rejection point for gold, and we worked up. Last week we made some pips on the way up, and then what I did on the way down, because we had news coming in, I set a pending order, and this was just after the session closed, and it dropped down. The pending order kicked in, exit manager kicked in as well, and we made some decent pips on that. But yeah, since then, price has continued to come down quite drastically, down to where it is now at somewhere around 17.49. And the good thing is about what we do is we're looking for 10 pips. So we're not looking for big moves. 10 pips in and out.
They say 90% of all success in trading is psychology. If you've lost trades by chasing trades, over-leveraging or second-guessing your strategy, then you are acting from your emotional brain. The part of your brain called the monkey brain. It makes you act without thinking and then calls you names for losing. Access my brand new resource, Teaching the Monkey to Trade. This training is designed to improve consistency and results, teaching you proven NLP techniques. You'll also get access to an exclusive interview with trader and master NLP practitioner about learning 90% of what it takes to succeed. Get free access to the resource and interview by clicking the direct link in the description below.
And one of the things as well that we've been working on is also this trailing Heikin-Ashi, which I've just started sort of testing out this week. So I might just apply that just to see. But so far it's looking quite interesting. Staying in trades a little bit longer, but yeah, one thing about testing is there's always a lot to be done before things get announced. Is anybody else doing the back testing? Helen, you doing any testing on that?
Sorry, John. I couldn't couldn't get it to turn off mute. Yes, I am actually. I've been playing around with it all morning.
How have you found it?
Yeah, it's kind of. I haven't quite got the alerts right yet. It seems to be giving me alerts when I'm not expecting them, or rather, it gives me alerts and I go and look, and it's not giving me what I expect. So I'm just trying to work out what it's doing.
Yeah. There's a lot of testing really, which and a lot of probabilities as well. You know, the 1 minute, then the 2 minute, and then when do you get in, and you know, when do you get out. So there's all sorts of.
Well, I've only been working on the 1 minute, and I've written myself a list of 6 criteria. So I'm going to go and test them now and just work on those criteria and see if it works.
Yeah, fabulous. Yeah.
But I need to get my head around the alerts first. Otherwise, you're kind of just faffing around looking through all the charts all the time.
Yeah. It's nice to get something a bit more positive on that. Right, 1308. Still waiting for. So just let's go talk through the moving averages. I know some people here quite regular, so you know what's going on. But just for the newer people, in terms of the MAs, if you watch any of the Crossfire strategies, you'll know that we have the different MAs on there. And sometimes because I've got a black background, they might look a bit different, a bit of a different color. I know Richard has got a white background, so yeah, slightly different colors. So again, use whatever is the most appropriate to you. But in essence, what I've got is the yellow is the 5 MA is a 13, which is part of the Ninjacator one that changes color. Then we've got the 50, which is the red one up here. Then going a bit further up, we've got the 200, which is this blue one. And then right at the very top is the 800, the 800 moving average. Now, typically, the moving averages, I know we're looking at the 15 minutes so far, but the moving averages are pretty decent take profit levels. And in addition to that as well, what I also do is I put these lines on and just call them pivot lines for now. And if you look at an area where the price comes up and it goes back down and it comes back up to the same area, then I'll put a line on there so you can see it respected it here, it respected it here, it respected it there. And what I'm finding, and again, this is just additional confluence, if you like. So when the moving averages are not in the right position, say if those moving averages were below and the price looks like it wants to go for a buy, then the question is, what is your take profit level? And typically we can say, okay, well, for this strategy, we're looking at taking 10 pips. But as an additional confluence, we can use these pivot points, and it just shows us areas of support and resistance, and they work really well most of the time. So again, one of the things about these is I'm still testing these out. There are different indicators you can use to put pivots on, but you know, personally, I've just started testing this last sort of week or so, and I've found that if you put them on yourself, and you know the price respects it, and again that gives you more confidence that it's working. So as we go through the trade, or as we go through today, we'll probably see the price respecting this, you know, these different areas of support and resistance. We've got a small area here of imbalance. I put this on a little bit earlier. There was an area down here, but price has taken it out. We've also got imbalance further down. So here, this is still relevant, and also further above, it's quite some way away up here. So for now, really, what we're looking at is, well, 1311 is, you know, if price wants to go for the buy, then we want to get past the 50 moving average if there's not enough space in it. So say if we're looking at price getting, let's say for example, we're getting a price here and we go, okay, well, there's 13 pips in there. Is there enough when you consider broker spread? And by the time, you know, we've got the trend lines or anything else, we'll know about that. But certainly between the 50 and the 200, there's a decent 70 pips in that. So I'm just going to wait until 13:15. In the meantime, anyone new or anyone got any questions? No.
So just checking, John, are you just doing gold? on Crossfire at this time, or are you doing the other 5 as well?
Yeah, I'm just doing gold for now.
Okay, it's fine.
That was it. Yeah, just doing gold for now, just to avoid any additional confusion, mainly from me. I have been doing the other pairs, but what I'm finding is because my mindset was looking at gold, and it kind of, I did a lot of gold trading prior, so 3 or 4 months before I went live. And what I found literally with trading Forex pairs is that because the price action is slightly different, I'm having to kind of switch between, that kind of mindset. So essentially with gold, I can come onto gold and trade gold, and I'm quite happy with it. And again, with Forex pairs, what I'll say with gold is when price goes, it just goes. And the price action is quite positive. When price action goes with Forex, as you know, it goes, it retraces, it goes, it retraces. And yeah, that's kind of, I'm going to add it eventually, but I want to do some more testing for myself. So, right, 13.13. Well, we're going to put that one on there because I don't think price is going to come down any further, he says. And then I'll put that one on there ready, put that on there ready. It's one thing I do when trading Forex in the morning, on the Crossfire in the morning, and put all the trend lines on, and then come back and they've all moved. So at least with gold, just the one, it's a little bit easier.
So sorry, I missed exactly what you did with the pivots. You said you did them manually, so you're drawing every line manually, or you've just put an indicator on?
Yeah, I'm drawing every line manually. What I did is it got to a point where I looked at the stochastic, say the stochastic's in the extreme at the bottom and the moving average is in the wrong place, and you go, well, where is the take profit level? So if you look at say this one here. So essentially what I do is I just change it to the line, okay, and then where there's a peak, I'll see if there's a trough there, okay, and a peak here. So I've put it there, and then I go and see where it has price respected that line, and if price respects it, then I'm confident that that's in the right area, and that's what I do. And the danger is you're putting peaks all over the place, putting lines all over the place. But what I tend to do is look at it, find out what the measurement is between the two, and if it's around 10-15 pips, then I'll go with it. Okay, so I'll come back to that a bit later because it's 13.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
Okay, I'll turn the magnet tool off. Okay, so that's on the 15-minute. So I'll leave the 15-minute on so we can see it. And now we're going to move over to the 5. So, as you know, looking at price to go below the red line for the sell, and above the green for the buy. Currently, we've got the PSAR flipped at the top. We've got a ninja down, but typically at the start of a new 5-minute time frame, the price always reverses before it tells us what it wants to do. Where are we now? So the distance, obviously the distance to the 50 is like minimal, but if we got past this level, then we're looking at the price to come up for the PSAR. The PSAR will flip, and then we've got a potential move to this moving average. Now, looking at this area here, we've got what, 15-16 pips in that, and also this is an area of imbalance, so it's an area of interest. But again, we're just going to wait until the price goes up before we're going to consider any potential buys. If price wants to come further down, then the area of interest is this imbalance here. This is it, imbalance from earlier on. So imbalance, what, 30 pips or thereabouts, depending on what's going to happen. But at the minute, we're in this wedge, okay, this wedge here. So we just wait until the price goes above or below the trend lines. You don't get suckered in. And the other thing I like to do as well, which I mentioned previously, is to put a vertical line just on there. It's funny because it's a Friday, and we haven't really got an abundance of news. We've got Canadian news, all high impact at 13:30, and then at 1400 we've got a Fed speech, and that's really about it. So it's quite unusual for a Friday afternoon to have not a huge amount of news. Either way, you can guarantee that price will be affected at this level here at 1400. So we'll have to be mindful of that. But usually it's 13:30 when the news kicks in, and I'm always pretty cautious. Maybe we can get a trade in before 13:30, but I think certainly if price is going in our way and all conditions are met, then I think prior to the news could be considered as well. Bit of a news item further on, but that's not going to affect us in this 2-hour period. So stochastics at the moment on the 5 minute, I kind of pointing downwards, but kind of in the middle of nowhere at the minute. And again, with this falling wedge or this wedge, we just stay out there. One thing that we do find prior to the news is obviously the banks, the financial institutions, they want to take you out your stop losses. So you will find pushes either side, but generally because it's gold, there will be very quick pushes, and they are designed just to take you out your stop loss for those bankers to take your money and liquidate. So again, you just be mindful of that as well. Quite often on a Friday, the action tends to happen after the news. So it'll be interesting today to find out what's going to happen, because there's not a huge amount. So we've still got a ninja down, but I say price is doing that thing. It's trying to take people out the stop losses, just those little financial institution traps. So price is pushing down. We've got a ninja down. We've got the PSAR is at the top, but we're still not really interested in getting into anything until we get a bit more positive price action. I like to see the air in between. If this is going for a sell, then the stochastic's in the right place. But as I mentioned just a minute ago, we've got this news, and this just could be a bit of a fake out, taking people out stop losses. And again, this is the lower low here, so you can expect price to go to about here, around this level, before bouncing off. We'll see what happens. So has anybody else who's on? Has anybody else been testing the trailing Heikin-Ashi or the equivalent?
Yeah, I got 6% earlier, actually, about an hour ago on the gold. So.
And was that using the trailing?
Just well, I don't know whether I've got the same indicator. I've got the smooth Heikenashi's and the bear bull type thing. So yeah.
Excellent. Good.
I think I'd probably use more, look more for the engulfing candle, that type of scenario, and then the ninja up, advantage up, and then if it looks good, I go for it.
Yeah, it's always good to have these new things on the horizon and testing it. I think the important thing is everyone tests it, and then we get that good feedback. Yeah. Well, we've got 2 minutes left on this time frame. I'm just going to see what's going to happen. Just go back a little bit further just to see what price action's doing. I think this is the lowest it's been quite some time. It's still in this big bearish move. So I'm kind of, he says he's kind of expecting to see price go up before it comes back down. And one of the things I've noticed as well is if we just have a quick look. And if you can all see that, it might have got on here. That's it. It's better. So yesterday, price went up to the 800. Okay. 17th, day before, it did the same. So it's going sort of up, and there was at the 200. So there is room for it to go up to the 200 and even possibly to the 800 before coming down again. But again, we'll just have to see what's going to happen. You can see price came down, it bounced off this lower low here, or this lower area. Coming back to the trend line. And again, this is more likely just the financial institutions taking people out of stop losses to liquidate positions for themselves. And we're back to that wedge. So again, we're still waiting. As I usually on a Friday, and I keep repeating myself, but we've got news here, high impact Canadian news, and a little bit of the US news. That's the Fed speech. When is it again? 1400. 1330 and 1400. We've got 1400. Oh, it's on 1400. Right, so there's Canadian news, and that's the Fed speech. Okay, so this Canadian news, this is high impact. And I just like to put these on as a visual. You don't have to do it yourself, but it's always, I'm more of a visual learner, so that's what I like to do. So we are, again, we're below the trend line. Okay, we're heading down. Okay, in that move is, again, potentially sort of 9, 10 pips. Probably not quite enough if you're looking at broker spread, if you're looking at taking 10 pips. And again, we know that price is likely just to bounce off anyway, even though we've got the clear air. So I'm just going to be patient, just wait until that news kicks in. So even when the news kicks in, price is going to move really quickly, so you can't get in. And the other thing as well is if you're using a prop firm, then they don't allow you to enter or exit 2 minutes either side of that news. So again, you're best off staying out anyway. So just over 3 minutes 20 on this time frame before the news kicks in. It'll be interesting to see what's going to happen. I always try and predict what's going to happen when the news kicks in. Price, in my mind, price wants to go up, and if it does go up, it'll go up very quick. So again, it's like it's like a tidal wave. You know, you don't get in for a swim, join the tidal wave. You wait for the wave to settle down, and that's what we do. We just settle down. We get back in when it's good and right for us. So again, people who got in for a sell now been taking out their stop losses, and vice versa. So price goes up to that PSAR, up to here. It's going to end up flipping, and then we'll. The next candle obviously is when the news kicks in. Going back to the old days of the way we used to trade, was the 5 minute was the early warning system as the PSAR flip, and the 15 was when you entered the trade. So if you look at the way the 15 minute is right now, we're still in a ninja down situation. Well, that's probably likely to change because we've had the PSAR flip on the 15 minute as well, and we're still going up. We might even find that we've got imbalance here. We might even find that even before the news, it might even creep up to the 200 and then approach the 800 during the session. But again, we'll have to see. So under normal crossfire conditions, what we'd be doing right now is we'd be waiting. If there was no news here, we'd be waiting for the next candle to appear. We'd wait to see what price action was going to do, and then we would consider whether we got into a trade at this level here. Okay, but again, because of the high impact news, even though it's Canadian, we're still going to be really cautious. We're still on an inch down. Okay, so there's an ninja up. We just hit the high impact news. And again, under normal circumstances, this would be an opportunity to potentially get in. And again, normally wait for half the candle to finish, about 2.5 minutes or thereabouts. And as you can see, after the first 30 seconds, it started to retrace. Yeah, let me just stay out for now. Don't get involved in any of that. I think bun fight is the technical term for all this, as people like to say. So there was a fight between buyers and sellers, or between the financials anyway. So we're still in ninja up. There's quite a distance away from the candle, or the wick of the candle and the PSAR. The 5 minute is pointing upwards, followed by the 13. Obviously followed by the 50, then the 13. But again, we're in high impact news, so we just let it ride for now. Looking at the distance away from the pippage. Again, at average, you could probably get your 10 pips if you entered around here. Now remember that these pivots that I put on here act in the same way or a similar way to the to the trend lines. So if I was going to consider this, I would wait until the price got out of this pivot line, this area here, because the pivot, it's an area of resistance, and as you can see, price is resisting it, even though we're still in this high impact news. Then the next area to consider is this moving average, and once we get into the moving average, we're into imbalance, which at this line here is the end of the imbalance. So again, these are all things you want to be thinking about. So if price got above here in the next candle, then we've got a potential there of 10 or 11 pips. And again, look at broker spread. Sorry. Look at broker spread and consider whether that's going to be viable for yourself. And then from there, we can just work upwards. If price is going to go up, then we're looking at the next pivot, and so on and so forth, all the way up to this 800. And again, this strategy, the good thing about it is we're looking at taking 10 pips. And if we can do that, if we can stay in and get some more, then all very good. Let me just put this on. So this is the trailing Heikin-Ashi, and I've just started testing it, so I've just started doing the analysis on this. But what is interesting, what I found interesting, is with the white candles, with the white Heikin-Ashi, is you can potentially stay in trades longer. It gives you a bit more confidence about staying in trades longer. And also, I found if you use it in conjunction with Exit Manager, if price does suddenly turn its heels, at least you've secured pips for that as well. So, but again, it's early days in the testing. I'm sure we're going to find some sweet spots with it as well. Right, we've got 50 seconds left on this time frame. The stochastic right now is kind of, again, there's room for it to go up. It's not into the extreme. It's about what, 55 level? No, it's not. It's the 71 level. So it's broken through its pivot. You can see how price has respected it on that wick, or just in this area. But again, there's not a massive amount of room there to make you 10 pips. So again, in terms of the crossfire strategy, this area here, even though there's up to the end of the imbalance, 12 pips in that, so potentially there's a trade there. Any questions so far? Anyone got any questions with it? No.
Good, thank you, John.
No, hi, John. No, nothing really at all. It's what it is.
Yeah.
We're all hoping for great things from Canadian, but it hasn't happened yet.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking I should really switch them on as well, and just I was talking about that earlier with Helen, just saying about the slight differences and nuances with gold and forex pairs. But
we've been watching this CAD-JPY with Brian's lot, and yeah, that's what we're.
Yeah,
that's more the focus than the other ones just now.
Yeah. Is anybody in this trade? No, I think that's a no.
No, I got in, like I say, I did mine earlier, so it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for Euro USD to make its mind up, hoping for it to take a bit of a move up. But hey.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So again, if you let's say you've just joined us, okay, and you're looking at price at this level here, what you're going to be looking at doing is seeing what happens to price, either, well, first of all, at the moving average, because the moving average is naturally an area of resistance. And then if it goes past the moving average, then looking at the next pivot point. Okay, so if it carries on from there, then we could potentially be looking at a move to the 800, as I sort of showed you earlier. But again, if looking at working within the confines of the Crossfire strategy, you've got 22 pips in there, so you've taken your profits for the day at 10. So I think one of the nice things as well is when I was talking about last week, in terms of what is the potential pips to be taken, and can we take extra pips if we can? And I think used in conjunction with things like Exit Manager, we can take more pips using that, but also the trailing Heikin-Ashi. I think that's going to change things a little bit as well. And I think once we get that sweet spot right, we're going to be taking more pips and safely as well. So that's what to look forward to. So currently 1 minute and 30 left on this time frame. It'll just be interesting to see where price goes to.
Is that your 800? It's just touching. No.
This is the
200. Oh, okay. I was confused. I haven't got 200 switched on. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, if you switch it on, then you'll find it's a really good profit magnet. So just talking about the stochastic a little bit, the stochastic is, obviously, as everyone knows, a lagging indicator. But the thing is with gold, and the thing is with most Forex pairs, you can go into the extreme and you go, okay, it's going to go for a sell. And it just continues going, and you think, what's this stochastic all about? So use it as an area of confluence. So yeah, okay, confluence, making sure everything is lined up. But don't rely on it completely because it is just a lagging indicator. Okay, so we might see, that's what I mentioned, you might see it eventually if price goes up. You can see on the 15-minute, it's still on the way up. We've got a higher high on the 15, just here. Still again. We've got a higher high here on the 15, as you can see just here, and that is just there is another pivot area. Okay. And I said one of the dangers, I'm just still testing this pivot area out, but one of the dangers is you can put so many lines on your chart that wherever the price goes, you can say, look, price has gone to the line, and that's the danger. So it's a case of being quite strict with where you put them, and also making sure it's relevant, and make sure you don't confuse yourself with too many lines on the chart. But the distance from this area to this area, again, 20 pips. So for a strategy where you're just getting 10 pips, this is tradable. Okay. So now what we're looking at doing, we would like price to be clear, same as that, as Anastasia says, she wants some what she say, clear air, I don't know what she says, vacuum or something, vacuum. So we want some clear air from there to then go to the next pivot, and so on and so forth. Okay.
Have you been watching her volume profile masterclass this week?
No, not this week. No, I've been quite busy this week with other things. But has it been good?
I picked up on it by accident yesterday, so I only yesterday was day 3, but I think day 4 starts today at 2 or 2:30 or something like that. I think.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously they'll all be recorded. But I was just interested to know what you thought.
One of the things I've seen with her is that she knows how to trade, and she keeps it very basic and very simple, which I think is the essence of trading. just being able to follow along and just coming out with those core fundamentals really. Well, we've still got a fair old bit of distance here between the PSAR, and as you can see with the trailing Heiken-Ashes, we're still on the white. So again, if I was in this trade, I'd still be in, and it gives me additional confidence to stay in the trade. So we're approaching this area here. So as you can see, this area here on the 15, here on the 15, just touch on the 15. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes to, whether it respects it and bounces off, or whether it continues. And because this is like a triple touch point, if it goes past, then we can say this is quite a strong move, and the potential of going to the 800 has increased a little bit. And also we've still got the white candles on the trailing Heiken-Ashes, so it's interesting.
Sorry, I had my video. I normally do video. I had the video switched off. I just realized. Not that it makes a lot of difference.
It's always nice to see people.
I've just done 20 pips on this, and
yeah.
I had it on the 3 minute, and I just think it shows what it's doing.
Yeah. One of the things about the trailing Heiken-Ashes I'll just point out is that it's designed for the 1 minute, although the 2 and the 3 minute are also relevant as well. So we're just back testing at the moment, but yeah, let's say Alice has taken 20 pips on that. Excellent stuff.
I don't know. I could have kept it going, but I don't know.
Yeah, if I put a long position on at the point where I thought I would have got in if I'd been back testing it, but I wasn't officially getting in. So that's currently standing at 32 pips.
Yeah, fantastic.
And that is getting in above the green line as well for a buy.
Yeah. Getting above blue, get above exactly, get above that, and it's done well.
So
yeah, in theory, you could have got in below the green line, but I was trying to make the principle of Crossfire still apply. Yeah,
this is something that I'm going to test out again probably next week. Is can we get in before the Crossfire lines? Well, again, it has to be thoroughly tested, but we'll see, because again, if you got in around this sort of area here, probably in the middle, then there's potential for a lot more to be had. Although
Richard, well, he said this morning, as long as there's enough pips, generally he wouldn't go on the left side of the cross.
Yeah. No. This is a bit of a danger area.
So that I'm not so sure, but if there's a gap, he would consider it. He said.
Yeah.
But I waited till it was above the green line, so in theory it's out of that danger zone, isn't it?
Yeah. Once it's out there and you've got the gap, then the green line acts as a support. So you've got that, a little bit of it. But again, we're looking at high impact news, so anything could happen on that. I'm just interested to see if this price is going to go above this area here, because if it does, it's going to continue up. But it's resisting. It's bounced off twice. Usually, when price goes up and bounces off and tries again and bounces off, it wants to go, and then eventually it'll go. But again, it's always interesting to see what's going to happen. So the stochastic now is in the extreme. I think there's probably a bit more room for it to go. It's at 91.3. So we're taking out this imbalance here. We've got imbalance above the 800. So again, without the trailing Heiken-Ashes, I'd be looking at that going, yeah, it's run out of steam now. The stochastic's getting to the top. Maybe it's time to cash in. We've taken some good pips of the day. But again, it's telling us no, stay in the trade. So we're still looking. Nice bit of separation between the 5 and the 13 moving average. 5 and 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 13
CAD Japanese yen's not going anywhere, Alistair, is it?
No. I've set the other pairs up as we were chatting. Eurocad, take that off, it's too complicated. Eurocad's, no, it's retracing.
Euro USD is going absolutely nowhere.
GBP USD is not looking great. Best one possibly was GPNZD-ish. Not brilliant, not with the PSARs all went. The Crossfire this morning was a bit hard.
Yeah, what did I do this morning? Yeah. QPNZD. I did all right. Well, it's stalling out at the minute. Well, we got 1400. So 10 minutes. We've got the Fed news. So that might push things up. And I say normally on the way to the news, you get a bit of consolidation. So that looks like it might be doing that now.
Yesterday on gold, I forget what time it was, afternoon.
Yeah.
And I had it set up and I was going to think, oh yeah, well, I go in and out. And I had it all set up and I sneezed.
And what happened?
Off it went. And it utterly went up. It didn't go like miles, but it went up so quick.
Yeah.
I got such a shock, I stopped it. And I got like 16 pips, but it was
I
fast.
saw that on you. Yeah.
Which pair, Alistair?
Gold yesterday.
Oh, I see.
And I sneezed. I entered on a sneeze.
Do you-
I think it was like, I think it was a spasm as much as a sneeze.
Was it the sell that you got in for, Alistair?
It was, I'll have to look it up.
Well, it must have been.
Yeah, it was a sale. Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
sale. No, it wasn't. It was a buy. It was a buy.
Crikey. We used to try that strategy again today.
Yeah, and I looked in the MT4. Yeah, it's a buy.
Was it a buy? Grand. Yeah, I always think sometimes I've got my hand on the mouse and sometimes the dog will jump up. And I think one of these days he's going to enter a trade for me.
Yeah, my kitten actually closed a trade for me yesterday by walking across the iPad. I thought, oh, God. Thank you so much.
Yeah, taking a tip from Paul's cats, I think. So what have we got? 3.5 minutes. Yeah, according to the stick this on the 1 minute and just see what it does. In fact, 2 minutes is better. Yeah. On the trade. This is the 1 minute candle. Just looking at that, the way that trailing Nike ashes are working. So potentially, there's no colour change yet, but it's on them, so it'd be good to. And again, 2 minutes. Right. So that's the stochastic is starting to tail off a bit. So potentially we could say that sellers are now in control, but it's only a bit of indicator. Still plenty of distance between the PSAR. We've still got the got a ninja up on this one. We're ninja down.
Yay, Euro USD has moved. Yay.
Yeah, I think I'll have to start doing the forex pairs as well on a Friday afternoon. Getting feel a bit left out now. So is anybody here kind of learning the strategy, just getting to grips with Crossfire and what we do? Anyone new?
Yeah, I'm pretty new.
Hi Cheryl. So any questions, anything you're not quite sure about, or anything you want to ask?
So I didn't hear you well. A lorry went past. Say again, sorry.
I was talking to Cheryl, obviously, just asking if anyone
Oh, sorry. Okay.
if anyone's new, if they've got any questions that they want me to answer, or anything you want to ask.
I don't have any questions. I like the way you do the commentary because I'm learning a lot from that. I actually just bought 10 pips off the strategy.
You say you've got 10 pips on that.
Yeah, I got 10 pips off them.
Excellent, well done, good stuff. Oh, thanks for the commentary. I sometimes think I'm not saying enough, but I think there's enough to be going on with.
Oh yeah, you're really good. Keep talking, keep talking.
Yeah, when you're first learning the strategy, I don't know how long you've been doing it, but you know, there's it seems quite straightforward and simple, but there's always little nuances that we add, little things to learn. So again, if there's something you want to know, just ask any question, or just kind of waiting for the news to kick in now.
Okay, thanks. I appreciate that.
You're very quiet,
I'm
by
going
the
to
way,
shoot
Cheryl.
off now, so thank you so much.
Okay, lovely to see you. See you next week.
Yeah, see you next week. Bye.
Cheers, Anne.
Cheers.
You'll see from here, this is real indecision. When you get a nice body of a candle, it's a nice positive move, and then you get this, there's hardly any body there. Real indecision between buy and sell. And I say what you normally get the pushes, the moves, and then here is the Fed news. Where's the so the Fed, or Fred as I like to call it, Fed barking speech. It's medium impact, so it's going to have an impact in some way. So price usually just consolidates until it gets to there, and then we'll push in a direction. So I'm thinking it's still going to go to the upside, only because of the position of the moving averages and the way that gold's gone. If the gold's gone really bearish, it's gone for the sell quite a lot this week. So this time last week, I mean, price right now is 17.55 an ounce. Last week was pushing 1800, and we were looking at targets to 1800. You can see what's happened over the week. Oh, the trailing Heikin-Ashi saying to us we still want to be in. Let's have a quick look on the 1 minute. We've got a colour change now on the 1 minute. Okay, so, and also the bear here. So I would have been out on the trailing Heikin-Ashi. 2 minute. Again, we've got a ninja down on the 2 minute. So from this move here, really gone up, taking some nice pips out of that.
Hey, John, where do I get the trailing hyphenation from?
Cheryl, you're really quiet and really muffled. Is there any way you can turn your mic up or maybe shout?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, let me just turn my mic up a minute. Let me turn my speakers up. There you go. Okay.
I was asking, where do I get the trailing hyphenations from?
At the moment, we're just testing them. So what there is, I'll have to have a look at a little bit. I can't remember which one it is now, but we're just testing the trailing Hakanashis out, just to add them to our mix of strategies. So we're just testing them. There is Alice, did you know which one it is? Which one it is on the
Yeah, it's called
Smoothing Haikanashi. Smooth
Haikanashi Candles V1 by Jack VMK.
That's the one. So if you go, yeah, Smooth Haikanashi Candles V1 by Jack VMK. You see that, Cheryl? Take a screen grab of that if you can, and then you can use that. It works in a similar way. There you go.
Okay, thank you.
Right. That's it. But again, what I'll do, Cheryl, let me just turn my mic down a little bit. What I would do as well is when you put something like this on, is never go into a live trade. Always use a demo account. And one thing that we've been doing as well is testing the smooth Hakanashis with the 1 minute time frame. So as you can see here, on the 5 minute time frame, we say, okay, we're still in, we're still confident, but we're supposed to use it on the 1 minute. And right now we've got a color change, so we'd be out the trade, and also a 2 minute, I think. Yeah, anyway, on the 1 minute would be out the trade because it's gone down it's reversed. All right, so that's the thing, is always test it on demo, if you're still on demo as well. So what we got next 5 minutes?
You're right, John, you would be out on the 1 minute, but similarly, if you applied the same criteria, you'd have been in a lot earlier as well.
Yes, yeah. So we'll just hit that high impact news. And so far, compared to most of the high impact news on a Friday, it's steady. That's all I'll say, steady. So, it's like the gold, it can go many pips in a direction. It would have been nice to see price, if price goes above this line here, because obviously that's a pivot line, it's an area of resistance right now, but if it goes past it, I'd like to see price get up to here, but that may or may not happen. So the stochastic is just starting to tail up again. It's still in stroke on the extreme. Of the crossover, let me get my cursor so you can see there, of the crossover between the sellers and the buyers, and we've also got the 15 in that area as well. Still resisting there with that pivot area.
So this had a low back in August. Back in August. This is August. 3rd of August.
Yeah. You're talking
And it's
about
come down past that, and it's pushing back up a little bit. But I just think it's going to come down. I really do.
back down to that low.
I think it's going to come down to this consolidation, and its price was down under 1750. 1736,
Yeah,
I've got a
imbalance here,
mark.
like I say.
At 1736, I've got a line in my chart with a question mark at the end of it.
Yeah.
There's a point there, 1740.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, but
It's imbalance.
there's stuff going on, exactly. There's stuff going on there. There's a bit below under 1733.
Yeah. 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 It's got to come down at some point, as we know.
Was it Helen mentioned about Anastasia's boot camp thing?
Yeah, she mentioned about that. Yeah.
It was the one from yesterday didn't link up on the web. I didn't see it live.
Yeah.
I haven't looked to find out if it's gone up now. I was,
Yeah.
sort of stuff out.
How do you find a teaching? Do you find it interesting? Find it good?
Yeah, it's it's
Solid.
it's using the candles. Really, what Brian's telling us. It's using the candles for your information, which is live data.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I want to jump on some of Brian's sessions as well.
And sort of gives you ideas as where's price might go.
Yeah, definitely. Right, I want to stay on for about another few minutes just to see what this candle does. And it'll be interesting to see which way price moves. Anyway, so we've got rid of that imbalance and get rid of that.
If you'll forgive me, John, I am going to go and try and listen to this last part of her volume boot camp this week.
Yeah, we're pretty much done now, so that's fine. Thanks, Helen. See you in the
Thank
week.
you. Have a good weekend, everyone.
Yeah,
Bye.
cheers, Helen.
Another 10 seconds for this time frame, and we'll see what's going to happen. It's always the way on the 5 minute, isn't it? When you think, oh, it's going to go in the right direction, and as soon as you get the new time frame, it goes in the opposite.
The other pairs in the Crossfire, I wouldn't say have been fantastically great this afternoon.
Yeah.
No.
They have or they haven't?
Haven't, no.
No.
The move on gold was the best, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. That was the best move of the lot.
Yeah. The thing is with gold is when it goes, it just goes.
It's quick. It's
Yeah.
The way the ninjas appeared on that big candle, if go in the middle, but it's quick. It can go up and back and before it blinks.
Yeah, that's it. Whereas you end up having to deal with retracements and all sorts on the forex pairs, and it can catch you out sometimes. I'm still curious to see where this candle's going to go. I wanted to go above the pivot line, but might be here for a while. And if you look at the way price or the way news impacted price over the last 2 or 3 weeks, it's gone ballistic in one direction or another. And today, obviously Canadian news here, high impact, and medium impact here with the Fed announcement, and nothing really much has happened compared to what we see previously. So. Again, talking about that stochastic, you see, if you were looking at a trade potentially in here and thinking, okay, it's at the extreme, it's going to come back down again, and you can see how it's just tailed along the top, and this is what happens with the stochastic sometimes. So again, it's good it's good for additional confluence, but you know, don't treat it as an indicator, a standalone indicator. Just use it as a bit of a guide. That's all. Okay. Has anyone got any questions before I wrap things up?
It's good for me. Thanks very much. I'm glad I came on. It's
Fantastic.
good.
Okay. All right. Well, what I'll do next week is we'll do the same next week. Potentially, I might even we'll do some more testing with the Heikenashes, and might even bring on the Forex pairs next week. We'll see what goes on.
Yeah, hopefully be about mixed trading. The week after that, I'm away, so
Yeah.
that'll be good. I'll catch you in the week. Cheers for that.
Always good to see you. Cheers, Alistair. All right. Thanks very much. See you soon.
Have a good weekend. Bye.